The Rotherham child sexual exploitation scandal refers to the widespread and organized abuse of at least 1,400 children in Rotherham, South Yorkshire, England, between 1997 and 2013. The abuse was detailed in the 2014 J report, which revealed horrific exploitation including rape, trafficking, and emotional abuse, often perpetrated by groups of men. Many offenders were of Pakistani heritage, though the scandal highlighted failures across various ethnic groups. Local authorities, including Rotherham Council and South Yorkshire Police, ignored or downplayed reports of abuse. This was partly due to fears of being accused of racism and a general culture of denial to protect cultural sensitivities. Victims, predominantly young girls, were groomed, coerced, and threatened into silence. Many faced devastating physical and psychological trauma. Many felt unsupported, with some being blamed for their own abuse. Vulnerable children are befriended, groomed into believing a man loves and cares for them, then is slowly trapped in a cycle of abuse and threats. The majority of known perpetrators were of Pakistani heritage, were often running takeaways or driving taxis in the nighttime economy. This gave them access to children who were out late, along with places to carry out the abuse and vehicles to move their victims around. One of the biggest issues in the response to grooming, identified in case after case, is the failure of police and social workers to focus on the victims. Often teenagers, they were regarded as leading risky lifestyles, involving drink and drugs. The inquiry into the Telford abuse scandal, which published its report in 2022, found police dismissive of claims of abuse, with one shocking comment: these girls had chosen to go with, I don't know, bad boys. What is more heart-wrenching is the way the victims are further victimized. One particular girl, Amber, was abused by an organized gang from 2008 to 2010 in Rochdale. She was just 14 years old when her nightmare began. Yet rather than being identified as and treated like a victim, she was herself arrested. She was accused of being a madam and trafficking her underage friends to the men already abusing her. She was eventually released on bail and sent to live with a man who had already been arrested on suspicion of grooming. None of her abusers was ever charged. The world's richest man, Elon Musk, has sparked a political storm in the UK by launching a series of controversial posts targeting Prime Minister Keir Starmer and the Labour government. His comments have reopened discussions around the issue of child grooming gangs, sparking calls for fresh investigations. Musk has accused that Starmer allowed rape gangs to exploit vulnerable girls without facing justice. Starmer firmly defended his record on addressing the issue of grooming gangs and child sexual exploitation as utterly sickening, and acknowledged the systemic failures that left victims unheard for years. Musk also supported calls for King Charles III to dissolve Parliament and order a new general election, responding affirmatively to a post suggesting this action for the sake and security of Britain. It is high time for Britain's criminal justice system to stop failing vulnerable girls victimized by predatory men.